Sunday, no fun day. Fun day Sunday. How we doing? I owe you all an apology. I left a bunch of you hanging in the live chat on Thursday night. Here's what happens. This is honestly what happens to me sometimes, most of the time. My 6-year-old daughter, who is cute as a button, she says, "Daddy, can you tuck me in?" And, that usually means, snuggling with her and, listening to some Alexa. She likes this artist named Priscilla Ann, who sings like wonderful little lullaby song things, whatever. And she's just such a good little snuggler. And it's like Thorazine. She's like, "Daddy, come on. You gotta get under the covers, snuggle me, blah, blah, blah." She's got her stuffies, stuffed animals. She calls them stuffies. And I am powerless. I just clonk out. Even with my son, sometimes I'll tuck in my son, who is probably past the age of tuck-ins. He's 10 years old, but he still likes a good tuck-in every once in a while as well. So I give him a snuggle, and I pass out sometimes with him, but it's my daughter that really just conks me out, man. And so that's what happened. I woke up at midnight, right? And I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to do a show. I haven't even had my TV wind down time. I tried to watch something on the couch. I passed out again, woke up at 2. I was like, damn, this is just, I'm cooked, man. I'm cooked. And then, and that was it for me. That was it. I was like, man, maybe I could do Saturday night. That wasn't going to work either. And so here we are. As promised, as pseudo promised, here I am. Sunday night. We're doing the Sunday night wind down. I appreciate you spending, instead of, you could be watching, what's the Sunday programming? What's currently playing? I don't know, on HBO. Remember primetime HBO, like Sunday nights, where it's like you get ready for the work week, or maybe you're rebelling against the work week by like, fuck it, I'm going to stay up a little extra late. I'm going to watch my Sunday programming, appointment viewing. We used to have Game of Thrones, you know what I mean? Like Dexter, whatever it was, like that was playing. I think most recently it's been, God, it's really not on Sunday anymore though. It's like kind of changed. Oh, it's like Curb Your Enthusiasm for a while, that sort of thing. In any case, in all that, I'm watching this show on Netflix right now called Black Rabbit. I just started. Jason Bateman, who literally, I feel like between this and Ozark, he got such a friggin' chub for Breaking Bad. He's like, I want to do my own Breaking Bad. So he's trying to do that with all these shows, and they're great. Ozark actually ended up being a letdown. I really like Jason Bateman. Kind of want to see him get into like feature film directing. I feel like he's going to make that jump. Right now, he's got a good deal with Netflix, and he's doing it. Yes, that's right. Evan W says Adult Swim does all their premieres on Sunday. There's a new show on, hey Aaron, there's a new show on Sunday called Ha Ha You Clowns or something. It's like 15 minutes. Look, these guys, they kind of like all Beavis and Butthead character. I don't know. It's pretty funny though. It's pretty funny. Let's start this show off the way we used to start off the show, like we did the last one. Let's do it right. Okay, we're gonna start this off the correct way.
Jeff is gonna talk about the Misfits right now. He's a nerd about this stuff, obsessed anyhow. Jeff never shuts his face, always needs to talk. Might show some weight if he went out for a walk. Do you think that he cares? He doesn't care. He's not incorrect.
Yes, Evan, that's right. It's called Ha Ha You Clowns, and it is really funny, really sort of like dry. It's like over enthusiastic humor. I can't describe it. Like the wholesomeness is what's like the joke is that these guys are so wholesome, and that's what's so funny, because they're just so they're like nauseatingly positive about their dad, and they're these 3 kids. I don't know. It's pretty funny. I don't know how to describe it. Just Adult Swim being Adult Swim being an Adult Swim, and it's great. It's really great. I recommend everybody check it out. And yeah, but we don't get like the prestige shows where it's like, dude, did you see the latest episode of Game of Thrones? Dude, did you see the latest episode of Breaking Bad? Like that was, man, that there was such a vibe to that. We don't have that anymore. We just don't have it. Yeah, that's right. Mozart said it's about family. It really is. It really is. I haven't seen Smiling Friends. Yes, Dominique, you're right. Frumess is for the kids. Best part of being at my job, getting paid to watch Frumess. Hey, Dominique, you enjoy. Go to show. Yes, it's a great show. The haha you clowns. In any case, before we continue on, I think that we need to quickly talk about our sponsor, RIOTstickers.com, in case you're not familiar with them already. CEO Sharpie Riot, he runs RIOTstickers.com, and he is ready to help you with all your sticker needs. Maybe you don't need a sticker, maybe you need a t-shirt. Maybe you need a banner like the one behind me. This was printed up by Riot Stickers. Or maybe you need a drum head, or, I don't know, you need something printed on something. Sharpie is going to help you do that. And we have a special promotion if it is the fact that you do want stickers. If you do want stickers, you go to riotstickers.com/Frumess. That's FRUMESS. Link is down in the description right below. And take advantage of this incredible deal. You can get 1,000 stickers for $79, free shipping. Sharpie Riot, he's a dreamboat to work with, right? He's been on the show. You've seen him. He's not just a dreamboat to work with. He likes to jump off of boats. He's an adventurer. He likes to go exploring under the ocean. They might as well call him Jacques Sharpdo. No, sorry, terrible. That was terrible. Sorry. Oh my God, that was bad. Sorry, I was trying to think of something funny just clever to say off the top of the dome. It didn't work. It's okay. We're going to bounce back from that. In any case, check out riotstickers.com/Frumess for the best promotion you're ever going to get. If you need stickers, you're not going to find a better deal for stickers on the internet. Riotstickers.com, 1,000 stickers, $79. You go to riotstickers.com/Frumess. One bite, everybody knows the rules. You go to riotstickers.com/Frumess, FRUMESS. Link is down in the description.
Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. RiotStickers.com. We are the bomb. Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. Riot Stickers, we are the bomb. RiotStickers.com. We are the bomb. We are the bomb. We are the bomb. We are the bomb.
Okay, so it's important for me to tell you, this is a comment show. What is a comment show? This is super important, okay? Super important to understand, so you know what you're getting. Because some people will accuse me of rehashing the same thing over and over again. We've already had the discussions here. We've had the discussions. The discussions are done. Go watch the previous episodes, right? We talked about people were like, what do you think, Jeff? What do you think? So I told you what I thought. I literally told you what I thought. I waited a week. I stayed quiet. I thought about it. And then I told you what I thought. I wrote it out in a very concise video essay format, which I think is really I think that's the best. Like, I like going off the cuff, but I think when like the words are focused, it's a better show. It's a better show. And then we do the comments afterwards. I think that those are the best. But the problem is I have to be inspired and I have to really like write. And that's hard to do if you're just doing it for something that maybe doesn't, where you don't feel gripped to do so, or you don't feel as much impetus to do so. By the way, Sharpie, if you do watch the show, I do have a can of bubbly. We have the coconut pineapple bubbly, which is the unofficial sponsor of, this is a drink I would love to sponsor at the Frumess channel. I don't know if that's possible, but bubbly, your people call my people. We'll talk. We'll get something going. what the hell was I just saying? So, all right. So I got a lot of comments. I responded to as many comments as I could muster. Sometimes it's easier just to screenshot a bunch of comments. I've done this in the past a little bit. Screenshot a bunch of comments and then respond in another live video. Okay. I love doing that on Instagram. I figure like, why not just do that for this? That's the easiest way to go about this. So I've screenshotted a few comments here and we're going to go through them. Some of the comments are probably going to be very similar. Okay. So I don't want you to get angry at me for being like, Jeff, why are like the same fucking thing? Like, no, that's what this is. The comment. This is a comment show. We're responding to comments. Okay. And a few other things, a few other little things, little bells and whistles here and there. As well as I want to clarify some things that I did see in comments that I thought deserved clarification. We did the lyric show, which was a lot of fun. We'll talk a little bit about that too, as it relates. So I'm going to go through these comments. I don't want to hear any complaints. I don't, because there's always somebody who just gets mad about this for no reason. I don't know why. It gets under my skin. It does. It gets under my skin a little bit. It's just kind of like, it's like, dude, it's like, what, why? Like, here's what I don't understand about people and they're complaining. Like, and I'm saying this as a guy who complains. I'm complaining on my internet channel about shit that I want to complain about. I'm entitled to do that. Right. And, at the same time, people get mad and they complain about like what I do or me bitching or me, whatever. And it's like, dude, there's like a million things to watch for free on YouTube. Go watch that. Leave me alone. Let me just fucking, I'm standing on my little soapbox and fucking venting. Like, let me do it. You don't have, and I'm all for discourse. I'm all for, we had Johnny, what's his name? Johnny Bob Goldstein, who sometimes is in the live chat. We had a very respectful debate and discourse right on the show. I love that. He didn't agree with me. I didn't agree with him. I personally think that I'm right. And I think that he was wrong. But he stated his case and we had a good back and forth. And I really appreciated that discourse. Okay. I think that there's like, there's room for that. But when it just like devolves into like really like mindless, stupid fucking whatever, it just doesn't work. It's just stupid, man. It's just stupid. Okay. All right. So let me go to, so the first thing before we talk about comments, I want to show you, this is really cool. Okay. This is actually really cool. So I found out that this is studio. This is how I see all my analytics and things. If you have a YouTube channel, I mean, anybody who has a YouTube channel can see this stuff. But if you have a YouTube channel where you're uploading videos regularly and you're trying to like, see how stuff works and whatnot, like you would use this interface. In any case, Sam Bruce, shout out to Sam Bruce, who's always, oh my God. No, you don't want to look at those. I thought this would scroll down. Sorry, Sam, your face is cut off. It wouldn't show me any more of the post. I don't know how to access this, but basically there is a community tab now where people can post what they want onto my channel somehow. And so Sam Bruce has posted, he says, hey, my Danzig and art-loving friend from across the pond, sending love from Derbyshire in the UK, walking back after a heavy night. I remember this bit of street art. Thought you would appreciate it. I do. Thank you so much. I give you a big hug right back there, Sam. The point is that Sam Bruce here, he published something right on the channel somehow. I can't see that. It doesn't show me. I only have this one small community tab, and that's where I can see that someone's posted. All I'm saying is you can post stuff, you can share stuff to the page somehow. I don't know how it works. I think it's a really cool feature that YouTube has. And I invite anybody to share something, obviously respectfully, like don't like post like stupid shit, but to share stuff. And if it's really cool, maybe I could share it here on the channel when we do shows and whatnot. And so I thought that was pretty neat. Okay, now that we got that piece of business out of the way, let's start going through some of these comments. Like I said, I'm going to read the comment. I'm going to do a response and we'll go through. I see the comments on the side. That's not what this is about. I will go down through it and I will see what is what. Okay. Okay. So this is the first one. This is from Romine and I'm going to read it in a certain kind of voice that I think is how Romain, or however he says his name, talks. He says, Manny, actually, I try to make him sound like Kip from Napoleon. I can't, now I'm thinking about it too hard. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I can't do it. Many had the foresight to record the session, never knowing how big the band would become. He held on to the tapes, wanted the world to hear it, and Glenn wants them buried. Manny died alone and with nobody to hear how awesome his drumming was, even though he just wanted it released. Everyone hoarding it and not releasing it is a terrible person. This includes Frumess himself. If Jerry releases it now, who cares? Manny got nothing. His family will probably get nothing. All these fans that befriended Manny might as well be dubbed phonies. And I responded to Romain. I said, okay, if I get a hold of your diary, I am going to release it on the internet and you can't get mad, okay? And maybe that wasn't the best analogy to what some of my sentiments were earlier on the show, but just to like sort of look at his comment here, he says Manny had the foresight to record this session. I mean, that's a really tall order there. He was recording it to review, the performance or the band's performance, or for the band to, review. There's no foresight in that. If anything, he had the foresight to save the tapes. He had the foresight to hang on to the tapes and for the tapes not to get like destroyed in the process over decades and decades of time. I don't know what that has to do. I mean, that's a really weird thing. It's like, again, it's like people are trying to like imprint stuff onto this that is not there. Never knowing how big the band would become. I don't see what that has to do with anything. He held on to the tapes. This guy is like projecting his own narrative of how he views the situation. And he's not right. And he says Glenn wants them buried. I don't know what Glenn wants. I'm not saying that Glenn wants him buried. I'm not saying Glenn doesn't want him buried. I'm saying that I don't fucking know Glenn. I don't know what the fuck he wants or does not want. I don't know what the situation is, frankly. I really do not. I really, really, really do not. I do know at one time, Manny was there was a time where I thought that this potentially could have seen a release. That's what I thought. Based on what I knew. And obviously it never happened. And I don't know the reason behind that. But like, there's a lot of like jumping around here for this guy to write this thing. And it's just stupid. And it's just not true. And then he goes on, everyone hoarding it and not releasing it is a terrible person. I mean, this is crazy. This is really like backwards thinking to me personally, because if it was in someone's possession, if someone had these things, that they are obliged to release it for free onto the internet. That's just so not true, man. It's just not how anything works. He says, if Jerry releases it now, who cares? Jerry couldn't release it even if he wanted to. He needs Glenn to do that. Glenn or Glenn needs to be the one that releases it, or they need to release it together. This is nothing to do with, just not Jerry's decision, man. Manny got nothing. His family will probably get nothing. I'm just saying, you don't know the situation. It's a complicated, crazy situation. You don't understand. I don't even understand. All these fans that befriended Manny might as well be dubbed phonies. I can't speak for anything else that may or may not have happened. All I can tell you is the following. I, a documentarian and filmmaker, called up Manny one day and asked to interview him. Manny offered to let me hear his tapes. And I went to his house, or I went to where he lived, and I brought my video cameras. I recorded Manny's interview. It's a little bit more than an hour long. It's possibly the longest interview that Manny has ever done and will ever do, because Manny's not around anymore. Okay? It's never been heard by anybody. I recorded it back in 2017. He also allowed me to hear some of those tapes. And 3 years later, I then talked about it on the internet. And that's all I can tell you. And that's all that I know. Okay? That's it. That's literally it. But the idea, my response to this guy, I guess, is really in relation to him talking about hoarding. Like, if I got a hold of this guy's like diary and I started reading it on YouTube, like, would that be okay? I mean, would that be okay? Is that like justifiable? I don't know. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but let's move on. I just had to address that. I just think it's really stupid. Okay, this is another thing I wanted to address. This guy commented, he says, Barbie Bites the Dust has been released. And I was being kind of a sarcastic dick here. I said, totally, dude, that's a real song, without clarification. I didn't really feel the need to clarify it. And he says, I couldn't believe it, bro. Xmas and Hanukkah had come early. And I was like, I'm happy for you. And that, I mean, I'm being a little, whatever you want to call it, condescending. I'm sorry, Adam. That was kind of rude of me. However, it seems a lot of people are, somebody released a track called, and I didn't even think I didn't talk about it. I don't know if maybe I did talk about it. I don't think I talked about it in the first video. And the reason why is because Barbie Bites the Dust is not a real song. It was never a Misfit song. Okay, there's no Misfit song called Barbie Bites the Dust. I asked Bobby Steele, who was there when Jerry did an interview. Jerry did an interview once where he joked about a song being called Barbie Bites the Dust. There's no such, and I also interviewed Bobby, and he told me that as well. That's how I know that. And it's funny because I had been reviewing the tapes, and that's when I had recalled and whatever. Either which way, Barbie Bites the Dust is not a real song. So there's like so much confusion about this. And it's actually gotten even more confusing because ... This guy, Raphael, who viewer of the channel, Raphael, he's also in our Lodi group, and he's a very passionate Misfits fan. He's always sharing little bits and pieces and bobs and whistles here and there. Sometimes to stir the pot a little bit, in good ways and bad. He says, something has been intriguing me. I like that he's always thinking about things. He's always thinking about things. He's always trying to, uncover, he's just really into this stuff. I can appreciate. Raph says something that has been intriguing me about Barbie Bites the Dust. It had all the characteristics to be fake, posted out of nowhere by a random channel with no valuable info, recording quality not matching the real leaks. Every reliable source and everyone knowledgeable about the band can confirm it's fake. Even Bobby said so. And we know the source of a name, a joke by Jerry. The vocals were muffled and probably sung by someone with a similar range and or AI help, but I couldn't say. It's extremely obvious that this is not Glenn. I listened to the recording. It's not Glenn, 100%. The weird thing begins when entering the direct link of the video. It returns the message that it got a copyright claim by Glenn Danzig. Well, most likely Glenn's team was able to remove it because it illegally used the name Misfits. However, the channel uploaded later that song again under the title it's French, Les Enfants Terribles instead, and it also became unavailable. By the way, so this is actually the title of a book. Les Enfants Terribles. Enfants Terribles? Les Enfants Terribles is the name of a French book from 1928. And when Glenn was making clothes one day, he scribbled onto a shirt on top of what was the poster art for the Misfits, the Marilyn Monroe movie, for which the Misfits take their name, the puzzle pieces and whatnot, and wrote that directly on there. And he either did this in 1977, early 1977, or perhaps in late 1976. And they're part of me always want, and this is just my own thought process here. I've never read this anywhere. It's just like an intuition. I always wondered, was that his original idea or name for the Misfits? Was he going to call the Misfits by that French name, Les Infants Terribles, instead of the Misfits, and then simplified it down to the Misfits instead at some point in 1977 or late 1976? I don't know. No one knows, but Glenn would know, or maybe, I guess Manny wouldn't even know. Maybe Diane DiPiazza knows. Who knows? Who knows? No one knows. But there's just something inside of me. I was like, yeah, I wonder if that was going to be, if that was the original name of what this project would have been. And it kind of like lines up with, Glenn's, Glenn tries to incorporate like these literary influences into his work, his early work. And I feel like this is another piece of evidence for that. But I have no way of knowing if that is true. And it also became unavailable, but this time I don't have a direct link to tell because the owner put it private or if it was due to copyright, because if the latter, I'd want further investigation. I don't think it's possible that someone creates a song from scratch, uploads it under artistic name, that it's not being used, still get a copyright claim. I mean, I can appreciate why Raph is raising an eyebrow for this. Like the idea, and then he also wrote this. He also wrote it in, hold on a second. He also put it in the Lodi Facebook group. If you're not in our Lodi Facebook group, you should join. We have a Lodi Facebook group. It's pretty great. A lot of great discourse in there. Let's take a look at all comments. Okay. He says roughly the same thing here, and he has like this little video. Let me see if I can play the video. So the video is no longer, says Barbie Bites the Dust, and the video is no longer available due to copyright claim by Glenn Danzig. And then Alan, who's always here in the in our live chats, he says, I was wondering the same thing. And Raph continues and says, I thought maybe Glenn's team took it down because they were trying to use the name of his band illegally. But that channel named Feline Nursery posted it again this week under the name Les Infants Terribles, Barbie Bites the Dust. And it didn't take long for it to be taken down again. If I had the link, we could verify it was removed, blah, blah, blah. Maybe because the moron Aaron here, who runs the original Fiend Crypt, says maybe because the moron that actually files copyright intellectual property violations doesn't even realize it isn't a real Misfit song. That's possible. That's possible. It could be that whoever is doing the copyright claiming for Glenn these days doesn't even know that is not a real Misfit song. I saw somewhere else, somebody said somewhere that maybe it's using the melody, of an actual Misfit song, like some instrumental from, and I mean, look, I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot outside of that, that tape, that other tape. I got to hear some other things. I can't say that I am overly familiar with every single, recording from Manny's archive of tapes. I'm not. I'm simply not. There are other people who might have a better idea. However, I still rule that out. I just don't think it's likely. I don't think that, I think we have the, what's it called? The Occam's razor, which means, or the Occam's razor, how the fuck you pronounce it, which basically means the most likely explanation, the most obvious explanation is the most likely explanation. And I think the most likely explanation simply is that whoever is doing the copyright, who's ever taking stuff down, was instructed to take down Drive Me and Feline Nursery and whatever have you, all the other ones, the Pony song and the Pony cover, I should say, of the David Bowie song, and lumped that in. And now here's the thing. Once you claim a song as copyright, this is the way YouTube copyright works. Once you claim a song as copyright, you get to, it's like logged in the system. It's logged in their system as that belongs to you or whatever. And to reverse that, and that's where this happens all the time on YouTube. You have these giant fucking companies that claim the rights to all sorts of music, whether they have the right or not, whether it's theirs or not, and it automatically gets like content, it automatically gets flagged and pulled as a result of that. And that could be what this is. That's the most likely explanation to me, that the person who ever did this does not have the knowledge that they think they have and just got confused and figured it was better to play it safe than sorry, right? Something like that, like better safe than sorry here. And decided to pull it instead. Whereas as it's not a song, dude. It's just not a song. Yeah. I mean, that's what I personally think. That's what I believe. So, I do know in the past, I do know that like there was a time where like Misfits 95 videos were getting copyright struck by Glenn Danzig. And I know that it wasn't necessarily Glenn Danzig doing it, right? Like it was clearly maybe somebody who was working for Glenn Danzig in that department who might have done. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like people can just strike stuff. It can just happen. It just fucking happens. So in this case with Barbie Bites the Dust, very possible that the person who did it just didn't friggin' know. And it's stuck. And now it's continued to stick like that. So I really don't think, all of that to say that I don't think that Barbie Bites the Dust is a real Misfit song. So everybody who's obsessing over Barbie Bites the Dust, I don't think there's, I mean, listen, download it, rip it, whatever, fucking obsess over it, have fun with it. It's exciting. It captures your imagination because it sounds like it could be a Misfit song. Fine. But like I think if you want to know the actual accurate truth, it's not, I don't think it's a Misfit song. I know it's not a Misfit song. I've had people fucking tell me that it's not a Misfit song. I had people from the Misfits tell me, people who were in the Misfits when that was said, tell me that it's not the fucking Misfit song. I trust them over anything else. That's what I believe. Moving on to the next one. Okay. All right. So this is my buddy, Tony Matura, Tony Subway. If you don't know Tony Secret Subway, fucking love this guy. He's great. We actually had him on the show. Tony actually fucking got to see the Misfits. He saw the Misfits 5 times. He saw the Misfits with Bobby Steele. He saw the Misfits with Doyle. He was there at the Irving Plaza show in 1979. I mean, the dude got to see some really cool shit. He sent me a really cool replica of one of the posters from that night. Yeah, Tony is the man. I want to comment on Tony's comment here. And Tony, my response, the following, this is not a criticism on you in any way, shape, or form. It's just a response to your comment, of which I think is like, I think you're misunderstood here. If I'm being honest, Tony, and I love you, Tony, you're the man, Tony. You've always been the man. But I have to say that I respectfully disagree with you here. You say, I know who the leaker was, Manny Martinez. Ultimately, he's responsible for it being out there. Like, as if it's like a sin. First of all, it's just a reality. It being leaked, the leak is just a reality of what happens when you entrust something with somebody and you think that they're trustworthy and they're not, because they turn around and they share it with 1,000 other people. Like, that's what fucking happens with fucking leaks, dude. That's just the reality. I don't think it's fair. Here's the thing. I don't think it's fair to blame Manny for being a leaker, especially after he's fucking dead. And you can't get, like, Manny can't speak for himself. Like, he can't even respond to that. Manny is not the leaker for sharing these recordings with the people who got to hear him, myself included, right? Like, that doesn't make Manny a leaker. What makes someone a leaker is that whoever transferred Manny's recordings, or however the recordings were acquired, then turned around and shared those recordings with other people. That's a leak. That's a leak, right? Like, that is what a leak is. It's not, what I mean to say is, I think to call Manny the leaker is inaccurate. I think if you didn't give something to someone, that does not make you a fucking leaker. Okay? It makes you a leaker if you intentionally leaked it onto the internet. That's what makes you a fucking leaker. Ultimately, whoever decided to upload this to the internet is a leaker. That's the leaker. Manny is not a leaker. Anybody who didn't leak it is not a fucking leaker, you know? And ultimately, like, is it bad to be a leaker? I mean, I've already been over this. We went over this in the whole fucking, I'm just going to refer you to my previous feelings in the last video. But my point being is that sharing something secret or special with someone else and saying, please do not fucking share this with other people, does not make one a leaker. You are a leaker when you make the decision to upload something to the internet and share it with people, like, without any consideration of the people who hold that fucking copyright or unreleased, you know. And I said what I very clearly expressed my thoughts on all that in the previous thing. So again, I love you, Tony, you know, appreciate you. I completely disagree. And I think to put the blame on Manny is not appropriate. It's just not appropriate. That's not fair at all, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, they were Manny's recordings. So whatever, even if Manny chose to share or spread it or share it with certain people with the intention that they would not fucking upload it to the internet or share it with other people, I think that is really the area to focus on, you know. And if whoever uploaded it to the internet and straight leaked it, basically turned around and betrayed the trust of whoever was foolish enough to give it to them, I think that's the tragedy. I think that's sad. Because when someone entrusts you with something, you should fucking uphold that and respect that trust and not fucking let it leak on the internet. It's like shitting the bed, you know? That's the bottom line. Whatever the reasons are, that's the fucking bottom line. So, I mean, that's my feelings on it. Those are my feelings on it. Ballad of the Broken, Adam Ballad, who a longtime viewer of the show, he says, hey, Jeff and Ballad came up with the official hybrid moments one. And I had to respond to him, yes, I'm sorry. It was not a singular effort. Literally my favorite analysis ever. So we do some lyrical analyses. We do some lyrical analyses and of the song lyrics, like we did for Drive Me. And I was referencing the hybrid moments one. And I guess the way I phrased it, because I wasn't even thinking about however I said when I was saying it, I guess maybe I took the entirety of the credit for it. And the reality is that a bunch of those that we did, including the hybrid moments one, it was very collaborative. It was me and it was the live chat and we were fucking cooking it together. And so Ballad is calling me out on that and saying, hey, we both came up with that. And so I want to share the credit with Ballad and anyone else who was there in the chat that night from whenever we did that episode and came up with our own interpretation of what hybrid moments is all about. I want to share the credit and the glory because it literally is one of my most favorite analyses ever. Just fucking love the idea of what a hybrid moment really means to me when I listen to the song. It's not fucking pig turtles, even if it's pig turtles. It's not pig turtles, not to me at least. Next comment. Before we get to the next comment here, I want to take a very quick moment a very quick moment to tell you about my Patreon. Yes, I have a Patreon, much to the chagrin of one of the later commentators here who we're going to address. And that's right. I am fucking promoting my Patreon on my fucking live show because I do this. And this is a way for me to earn passive revenue that I can then invest into other projects. So for a nominal fee, please unlock my Patreon vault. You can go to Patreon or you can become a YouTube member. And I have over 100 hours. I mean, tons of stuff, pieces of Erie Vaughn interview and clips from my Misfit interviews, just all sorts of stuff. There's over 100 hours. There's Misfit stuff. There's non-Misfit stuff. There's so much stuff in there to enjoy. And you could literally spend a long time going through it. So if you enjoy watching the show, there is so much more for you to explore. I'm going to play the very out-of-date Patreon trailer, and I will be right back. We'll be right back with some more comments.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jeff. So I've decided to make a Patreon. What is Patreon? I don't know how to define a Patreon. Let me look it up. Patreon is a membership platform that makes it very easy for creators to get paid for the things that they're already creating. I want to do it full time. I want this to be my full-time job. In my efforts to make that happen, I've set up this platform. Is it going to work? Is it going to be successful? I don't know, but I would rather try and crash and burn than not try at all. The goal is to create enough passive revenue so that I can continue to do this full-time, uninterrupted. Why? Because I love to do this. I love creating content. I love making videos. I love shooting films. I love doing podcasts. In case you couldn't tell, I love to talk and I never shut the fuck up. So right now I've kept the Patreon incredibly simple. There's 2 tiers, and that may change in the future. The Murdergram is a simple way to extend support for all of the hours and hours of free content on the channel for nothing more than $1. 38 cents goes to Patreon. What's $1.38, eh? It's less than a cup of coffee, but it's a great way that you can show support for very little effort. When you divide that $1.38 by the hours and hours and hours of time spent listening to this endless drivel of content, the dollar cost average works out. Next up is the YouTube casualty for $6.66. The YouTube casualty is loaded to the gills. Enjoy the archive ad-free, as well as ad-free early access to special docu-style podcast videos, music reaction commentaries, and the like, a month before they drop on YouTube, loaded with ads, I might add. You're also going to get exclusive content and behind-the-scenes content that is not available on YouTube or anywhere else. So you get to peek behind the veil. And believe me, there's a couple of choice pieces. Most of all, more than anything, whether you join the Patreon or not, I just want to thank each and every one of you that comes to the channel, that watches all the shows, that leaves comments, that participates, that subscribes. That's really the most important thing. This is just trying to find a way to earn a living as an artist. And with that, thank you for my TED Talk. Join the Patreon because we need you!
66 cents.
Okay, so we're back. We're back now. We're looking at more of these comments. Okay, so this is another one from Raf here. I really like what Raf came up with. I mean, it's, you know, just sort of like a final solidification of the lyric show that we did. But to me, I think this is it right here. I think this is it. We were talking, we did a lyric analysis show. What is Glenn singing in Drive Me? And I think this is my favorite. I mean, again, I am not an authority on the matter. I couldn't definitively tell you. This is my favorite interpretation of these lyrics. Raf posted this: come to love, I belong, come to love, oh, I belong. I took my guts out for you. The razor's gone awry. Are you going to drive me, babe, tonight? See the ravens fall and die tonight. Will your raven be down to fly tonight? I took my guts out for you. The razor's gone awry. Are you going to drive me, babe? Are you going to drive me, babe? Are you going to drive me, babe, tonight? And I think maybe, like, you know, little bits and pieces like fall and die tonight, maybe. Would you be down to fly tonight? Could be just, I don't know if the be down is there, whatever. Point being is that to me, I feel like this is a very concise, like this is as close as it gets, this is as close as we're going to get. That's what I think. And I responded, I said, damn, that might just be it. Wow. And he said, the first verse could be I'm in love, not I belong, but I think the Raven part sounds exactly like this after listening at 0.5% speed. So he's saying that the fall and die and the down to fly are very accurate because he listened to it at half speed. And, you know, who am I to argue? So good job with that, Raph. I'm going to accept that as my, as what I think the lyrics are, I think. Okay. This one's about the kazoo. So sometimes I will play back the beginning of a show, or I'll scrub my shows just to hear what the audio sound quality is like, because of buffering and the bandwidth that I get in my basement. And I'm not sure what the quality sounds like. And, you know, I guess you can call it quality control. And so I played back the opening, which I guess I was doing the kazoo. I was doing the drive me on the kazoo. And I have to agree, because someone left this comment on one of the things saying the kazoo is just horrible, just terrible. And I have to agree. The kazoo, ungodly, just so bad. And I want to apologize to all of you for playing the kazoo on YouTube. It really is not pleasant. It's not pleasant. It's not fun. I do it because I think it's fun. I'm not saying it's good. So I want to apologize for all the past times I play the kazoo. And I want to apologize for all the future times I may decide to play the kazoo, because I can't promise that it's never going to happen again. Next comment. Dance777 Macabre says, this song makes me want to write my own piano-based punk. It's absolutely brilliant. I like it more than Die Die My Darling already. I wish that all the tapes would be officially released in a lavish box set. I love that people heard Drive Me and then are inspired and want to go out and write their own piano-based punk rock music. And I responded with, obviously, best comment yet. Go out there and write some stuff. Shoot me an email if you're fruitful. And I was really serious about that. I was really, really, really serious about that. And Floor Maniac, sure, you could send me your stuff. You could send me mail. You could send all mail to frumessmail@gmail.com. I don't always check it. But that's the inbox to check. And yeah, I just really, really, really appreciated this comment. And I want Dance to go out there and write. I just want to hear whatever that piano-based punk is going to sound like. I love that sort of stuff. I love it when people get inspired by something and then go off and do their own original, unique thing. I think it's beautiful. I think that's beautiful, man. I really do. There's nothing worse than when people are doing something derivative. And Mushroom Leg says, this is a kazoo's night out. Psycho 78. Dude. I'm sorry. See, I told you it would happen again. You can't get upset. I said it was going to happen again. It happened again. That's it. It just happened again. What can I say? Okay. So anyway, I think that's great. I think that's lovely. Thank you for sharing that with me. Another comment. Okay. This is from Muckoid. And Muckoid says, I usually agree with a lot of what you say, but for this one, I honestly think that it was a good thing that these tracks were shared. First off, Glenn and Co. are not in the need of money these days, and the money that could have been made from releasing these tracks would be minimal. I don't think they would be of much interest to most casual fans. Second, the fact that these tracks were shared seems to have affected a bunch of people in an extremely positive way. I was almost at tears when listening to them. I released records and my own music. I did the All Hell Breaks Loose tribute. And if anybody released anything unreleased of mine in 50 years and it got the reception that these songs had gotten, I'd be flattered. I really think that releasing these tracks, I made the world, for lack of a better terms, a better world. But yet again, thank you for the videos. So first of all, the All Hell Breaks Loose tribute, that came that came from across the pond. Okay. And that was sent to us at Frumess HQ. And we had a listening party. And I highly suggest, I don't know if it's still available, but you should buy that. You should buy that tribute, that All Hell Breaks Loose tribute. And because it's a great fucking tribute to the Misfits. Lots of really quirky, interesting, original tribute song arrangements of those songs. I really enjoyed dancing to them. You could find the episode of us dancing to it somewhere on the channel. And I also want to acknowledge the the respectful / thoughtful way that Muckoid has shared this comment. And I want to respond back in kind out of respect to Muckoid, and even though I don't entirely agree with him, but I really do appreciate the discourse. And I said at the end, I appreciate your thoughts and agree with some of it. I think I'm going to do a response video to some of these comments, which is what I'm doing now. So he says, first off, Glenn and Co. are not in need of any money these days. The money that could have been made from releasing these tracks will be minimal. I don't think it'd be much interest to most casual fans. And the reality is Muckoid, I appreciate what you're saying. It's not for us to judge or decide, and I think you as a musician would know that better than anybody, right? Like, it's not our decision. It's not for us to decide. It's not for it. Like, we don't get to make that decision for them. It's what they want. And what they want really fucking is annoying as fuck sometimes, and really is quite irritating in a variety of ways, especially in the realm of, oh, I'd just like to fucking, use this song in my Instagram video, and I can't because fucking Uncle Glenn has a fucking, I don't know, a giant fucking log up his ass and can't fucking, just bring himself to just let his music be on Instagram, whatever. I don't know. It's bootlegging my music on Instagram. Like, come on, Glenn. Come on now. Second, the fact that these tracks were shared seemed to affected a bunch of people in an extremely positive way. I was almost in tears when listening to them. I have to tell you, I loved reading this comment, and I agree wholeheartedly. This is where we align in agreement. I agree, man. It was a net good that they were leaked ultimately, in the sense that, like, man, a lot of people it brought joy to some people, right? But it's interesting to me, you say it wouldn't be most interest to most casual fans, but then at the same time, it affected a bunch of people in an extremely positive way. And that also that they made the world a better world for those small amount of people, or for at large, but not for the casual fans. Like, there's a slight contradiction in what you're saying. And I'm not like, I don't criticize you for that at all. I'm just saying, like, I personally believe that fucking, I agree with you. I think that it did do a world of good. It was a nice thing. I think personally, though, there's like, it's kind of like, God. All right. So, how like in jail, I've not been to jail, but how in like jail, there's nothing lower than like a fucking rat, You know what I mean? That sort of thing. Like, you don't rat, you don't snitch, like that sort of, like, there's like that sort of honor code thing. You don't do that. It's why it's linked to, it's betrayal. It's distilled into the idea that like this is a betrayal. And I think that I almost view like the leak as something like that, in that kind of way. I think to like allow something to leak is just a devastating betrayal of whoever entrusted this to whoever else, right? Like, that's what I think. I think that it's just, I think that's a bummer. To me, I think that's sad, you know, because I do know that some of this stuff, this is something I do know, I'll admit to you here, some of this stuff was in circulation for a long time amongst small groups of people who should not have had it, right? Who shouldn't have even had it, but they had it, whatever. They had it in whatever which way. And it remained that way because it was not meant to be released. It was not, there was like, it's honor. It's just fucking honor. So I think it's kind of sad that it's sad to me to see someone who just decided to break that, or was careless, or, you know, sort of betrayed that trust in that kind of way. Ultimately, it's a good thing. It's a good thing because, as David Boldo podcast is saying right here, you get these fucking amazing covers. This is the perfect segue, actually, because he's mentioning it right here. The spunk cover of Drive Me. Yeah, I already fucking heard it, man. And not only that, I shared it, and I guess the guys watched the channel and whatnot, and they responded. They were happy that I had shared it. So I'm going to actually play it for you. I was going to play it with you. I mean, this is part, to me, this is part of the fucking awesome net good that came from this leak, is that these guys, and I love this. Look at the white on black. I love their Photoshop here. This is so fucking beautiful to me. I love their Photoshop job here. I love the spunk logo that they did. I love the black, the high contrast black and white with the red in the background. This is just really cool art. And they covered Drive Me. I'm going to play it for you right now. And hopefully, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when I do it. Just 1 minute. I think I can do this. I know I can. Hold on. Is that? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me know if this doesn't play. It should play. Let's see. Now, you'll notice, I think they chose to use, I love the art the art choice that they made. They're using different lyrics, slightly different lyrics. I don't know why they chose those lyrics particularly, but they did, and I thought they really did do a great job. And the fact of the matter is that music, that cover exists because the song was leaked and these kids were inspired to fucking cover it. That is beautiful to me. Okay. So understand that like, I'm not for what people perceive as gatekeeping. I personally think, this is again my personal belief, is that if somebody lets you listen to something really cool or entrusts you with something, it does not entitle you to the right to leak it onto the internet. It's that cut and dry. It's that fucking simple. However, as Gary says here, but it's not that honorable. What's done is done, Jeff. By the way, I love you. What he says, I do think it is honorable. I do think it's honorable, but whatever. That aside, the what's done is done. What's done is done. And these kids have covered it, and it's fucking beautiful. And that does make me happy. Okay. That does make me smile. I'm glad that exists on the internet. I'm glad that was created. I should do a cover of Drive Me on the kazoo. What would that sound? Should I do it? Should I do that? Would that be fucking hilarious? Like, oh my God, like an acapella with kazoo and hand claps. Could I do it? That's the challenge. Well, tune in and find out. Maybe I will. If I'm successful, I'll let you know. That would be funny. I mean, it wouldn't be funny. It would be fucking probably horrible, but I'm probably going to do it anyway. I'm probably going to try and do it anyway because anyway, I do appreciate what Muckoid is saying. I do. And Muckoid, like we do have cool stuff as a result of it being leaked onto the internet. I don't think that justifies somebody's personal private shit being leaked, though. It doesn't make it okay. It's just a nice byproduct of that reality. Here we go. This requires Kip's voice from Napoleon. Get over it. To exploit it as poor character, you exploit the Misfits to hawk your own garbage projects. Your ego is hurting because you thought you got to have a novel listening experience you could brag about for years, and now everyone has heard it. Okay, like, oh shit, that's not even on the stream. Fuck me. All right, let me do that. All right, so this is from this guy, and I just read you what he said. But like, so he thinks that I'm mad that I had a novel listening experience that I could brag about, and now everyone has heard it. If that was the case, why would we be doing all this stuff? I mean, it's already fucking out there. Might as well fucking talk about it. What you misunderstand, I'm not saying, what I'm saying is, because believe me, all of this stuff is exploitation. All I'm saying, and I will repeat myself over and over again until I'm blue in the face, if something is unreleased and uncirculated and it comes into your possession in some way, shape, or form, unless you are contributing to that thing getting released through the proper fucking avenue, you should not be fucking propagating it or sharing it in any way, shape, or form. It is wrong of you to do so. That's my personal belief. And I think it's fucked up. That's my personal belief. Okay. And you don't have to fucking agree with me. That's what I think, man. That's what I fucking think. I think the only thing that we should be fucking leaking is the motherfucking Epstein files. Leak them motherfuckers. Oh boy. That's been a whole can of worms. We're not going to talk about that though. Frumess's true voice has been revealed. Where was I? All right, so that's and then he also says that I hawk my own garbage projects. I exploit the Misfits. No, motherfucker. I do shows. I do shows about the Misfits. I do shows about the Ramones. I do shows about all sorts of stuff on my show. By your, like, again, this is me fucking splitting hairs with a faceless, nameless fucking comment on YouTube. By this dude's like logic, indignant anger, any fucking radio show that does anything like sponsored or has any sort of own agenda is therefore exploiting it in a fucking negative way because they're fucking doing their own fucking thing. Does that make sense? I said that in the worst kind of garbled way ever. The point is, I do a fucking show on the fucking internet on a fucking YouTube channel, and I fucking talk about my own shit too. What's the big fucking deal? Literally, that's everybody fucking does that. What are you talking about? Literally, what are you talking about? Get out of here with this garbage. Sorry, I think it's garbage. Oopsies, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Magnanomeda, what a name, says, oh, this one requires the Kip voice is required too for this one. Okay. Yeah. Aaron says, do what you love, Jeff. These posers can shut up. Here to that. Here to that. Yes. TY says, Graham 138, fuck all who hate me. I don't know what that means. That's really fucking funny. When you go to jail in London, you have to listen to Frumess play kazoo as punishment. Oh, you don't like that I play the fucking kazoo on fucking YouTube? So go watch something else, you fuck. Jesus Christ. Let me fucking have my kazoo and play it too. No. He's all right. This is what this guy says. Let me get in my Napoleon, my voice, my Kip voice. Misfits are what they are thanks to bootlegs and tape recordings, which, surprise, are piracy. That's punk. That's DIY. That's how their fan base has remained for decades. It's thanks to that they were able to come back decades later and make real money. Someone leaked it. And guess what? Misfits are on the rise again. If they release an official version, everyone who shared it will buy it. That's how it's always been, and that's how it will always continue to be. I hope people leak it without guilt. And who knows, maybe these guys will release an official version in good quality. I have to tell you, man, like, this attitude is the worst. This attitude is the absolute worst. And paradoxically, let me point you to a filmmaker, George Romero. George Romero, yes, Dudley, yes, Dudley, that's me like trying to rip off Kip from Napoleon Dynamite. And I did that because the other week somebody was in the comments and I was responding to them that way, and it just came out naturally. Every single hating comment is actually Dr. Chud on an alt account. Can I just say how, you know what? I better not say anything. I better not say anything. I just think it's funny that Dr. Chud seems to be having a Chudassance, and it's like people just don't have memory of an elephant, and they really should. And whatever, who fucking cares? So he says the Misfits are what they are thanks to bootlegs and tape recordings. Let's talk about George Romero for a minute. George Romero made a movie called Night of Living Dead, which fell into the public domain, right? And because it was in the public domain, all of the like local monster radio TV shows, like all the monster TV shows, all the local like Saturday matinee movie shows with like all the horror hosts like Zachary and, you know, just all that stuff, Svengoolie and Elvira or whatever, fucking, you know, they would pick up Night of Living Dead and play it endlessly on TV. They didn't have to pay the filmmakers. They didn't have to license it because it was in the public domain. And that's part of what led to the growing of the reputation. That's what led to Night of the Living Dead spreading. in a variety of ways, right? Like in a big kind of way. But those dudes never made any actual money off of Night of the Living Dead. I mean, sure, they made some money off of Night of the Living Dead in various ways, but like in terms of they lost like hundreds of millions of dollars in potential box office revenue because Night of the Living Dead slipped into the public domain. On one hand, it definitely cemented Romero in who he was. On the other hand, he was denied, monies that were rightfully fucking owed to him. And it's kind of a fucking shame. It's really fucking shame. And they did all sorts of things to try and cash in on the movie that they made, that everybody was making money hand over fist, except for them, the makers of the fucking movie themselves, right? And it's just, I think that it doesn't really fucking matter whether bootlegs and tape recordings helped spread, the Misfits and their legacy. To be honest, more than anything, even more so than just the bootlegging, it's the fact that they recorded as many releases, the fact that they put out as much music as they did, I think really also helped to contribute to that longevity long after they had gone. Very few punk bands released a single fucking 7-inch, let alone all of the giant body of work. The Misfits were incredibly prolific in their incredibly short career. In 7 years, you look at all of the releases that they were able to get out. It's kind of remarkable. Really, it really is kind of remarkable. Did that then lead to bootlegging? Were the Static Age tapes leaked and bootlegged and people had those on cassette? Sure. As with anything else. But I don't think that is a legitimate means of justification for leaking something. Misfits are not on the rise again because Drive Me was fucking leaked onto the internet a fucking, 2 weeks ago, you peanut brain. I mean, that, the Misfits were on the rise again when they fucking reunited with Glenn Danzig, back in 2016, before Manny even fucking really surfaced on the internet. So, I mean, that's the reality of that. This idea of justifying leaking because that's the way it's always been and that's how it'll always continue to be, and because that you think you're entitled to do that because you're doing a service to the band. I think that is some serious backwards thinking. It's just backwards ass bullshit thinking. And this guy is a frigging goober. And he says maybe these guys will release an official version in good quality. Does he not know the situation? He doesn't know the situation. As I said in my first video, this only makes the cynical people who can even release this music officially even more cynical. That's the truth. I don't think it provides them any incentive. Having it out there doesn't make any incentive. So this guy's an idiot. The bottom line, this guy's a fucking idiot. And this is one of the dumbest comments that I've come across. This one particularly is just really fucking stupid. So, Jeff, I think you should offer a new challenge for someone to create a finished version of what Drive Me would sound like. And I said, what do you mean? He says, challenge someone to do a version of Drive Me that would sound like it was released with the rest of the Static Age stuff. And I said, I will. And so that's me. That's what I'm saying to you right now. I'm challenging everybody out there who could play music to put out their own version of Drive Me if it could sound like Static Age stuff as per this comment, because it would be kind of cool to hear. So let's see what you can do. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a version on the kazoo. I'm going to do that no one wants, that no one has asked for, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to be doing it anyway. Why? Because I gotta. No, I'm kind of curious to see what would happen. So we'll see. Final comment here. This video has my head turning for days as a musician whose work gets pirated a lot. I agree wholeheartedly with everything you said about how it's their material and the leak was wrong. The points you made were absolutely legit. I've been covering the Misfits Samhain Danzig since the 90s. And even released some covers for free. However, I don't know if I could have resisted digitizing the tape you heard on the spot. Manny's permission granted, of course. And then, wow, trying to hold it back from a leak would have been a hard one. He's saying my self-control is amazing. I don't have any of these recordings. I don't. For just to clarify here, I am not the one who leaked anything, and I am not in possession of anything. Okay? Bottom line. That's the straight up truth. I don't have anything. So I just want to clarify this comment by Chad. I appreciate that you think I have self-control. I don't, because I don't have anything. I mean that, especially with you not wanting your tape player to this for sure. I didn't want my tape player to fucking eat that thing. Okay. That's the bottom line. I didn't want that tape to get eaten. I'm glad it didn't get eaten. I'm glad you love the channel. I'm glad you've been a subscriber for a few years. Thank you, Chad. Okay. I'll go to a couple comments here, and then we will be we'll pull out. Dudley says, I do believe it was wrong, but I couldn't stop myself from pressing play. Look, it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't fucking matter anymore. It's on the fucking internet. It's like it's over. It's part of the internet now forever. That's the bottom line. So like, you should enjoy it. We should all enjoy it. It's great that people are listening to it. Fan-fucking-tastic. But it was wrong. It was fucking wrong. It was not the right thing to do. It was not the right fucking thing to do. Mushroom says it should be released as a dub cassette, no other format. That's pretty funny. What else? What else here? I think we saw a lot of these comments. I don't know. Speaking of which, let me tell you about my own project. Let me exploit the Misfits to tell you about my own project. I made a documentary. It's called Kuyashi Gonzo. It means a lot to me. It was a very personal project. You can watch it, the entire documentary, for free right now here on my YouTube channel. It's on the homepage, or if you go to the pinned link at the top, you can click on it and watch it there. Here's the trailer. I'm going to play it for you right now.
Who am I? I am nobody. I'm just a guy who is a big fan of the Misfits. And I also am a filmmaker. I have, in a month, a fucking huge shoot coming up. One of the biggest of my life.
I was scared to do it again because the first time I made a movie, it almost didn't come together.
What's so funny? It's just your grandson feeding you baby food.
If I didn't complete this feature film, it would have been the end of the world for me.
You got the shot.
Pain is temporary, home is forever.
The process on one hand feels this impossible mountain to climb. Is this my great downfall?
And you kind of gulp and you go, okay, well, time to climb the next mountain. And that's kind of like what life is. We'll take it a shooting day at a time.
We're gonna get magic?
It's gonna be like fucking Magic Johnson.
Leave. Get out. Ah!
The anxiety is unpleasant and uncomfortable. The fear is a very healthy one.
Growing.
This tastes like sand and fucking mud.
No, when in doubt, when you don't know what you're doing, just make everything blue.
You need this humility to be like, maybe you can't do this.
Or red.
Which leads me to go, well, I'm gonna try my goddamn best to.
Or a combination thereof. Just go Suspiria.
Wouldn't be a micro-budget independent film without a hallucination scene, right?
You also throw up some nice chunky chunks.
You got no problem eating oatmeal?
Oh shit, oh man, I'm sorry. You look like fucking Ash.
After today, what percentage would you say we're at? We don't have enough action scenes. I think we're at about half.
This is supposed to be the finale of the film.
You might be right. We might have half the movie.
There's nothing to talk about until there's a movie in the can.
This is your Frank Booth gun.
Shove, 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 punch, punch, punch.
There's a scene waiting to be revealed within the footage.
Take down with the headlock.
Like a block of marble waiting to become a sculpture.
And then no, don't do it or whatever. And then...
And I'm spent!
I'm in uncharted territory right here.
I don't even know what we're doing.
A fork in the road. Isn't this what happened to Dante when he encountered Virgil?
Like, I kind of know. I have an idea.
I feel like a failure. I was not expecting to be where I am at 35.
I've never been so broke in my life.
It feeling a lot of self-pity.
This thing could be taken from me at any moment.
And yet, for some reason, I'm happy.
You only fail if you give up.
Tonight, we dined in hell.
This journey is one of the most profound lessons of my life. And that's my documentary. And I'm standing on the fucking coattails of the Misfits to tell you to go watch my documentary, motherfuckers. Go out there and watch it. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna fucking say? I don't remember. Yeah, so I mean, I guess that's really it. Those are just some comments I wanted to address. This video is not. I mean, if you're still here watching it, I guess you've seen it. You've seen the video. That's it. That's all I have to say. Go out, go cover Drive Me, and let me know. Let me know what you let me know if you managed to cover Drive Me. I'd be curious to hear it. Definitely post stuff to the community tab on the YouTube channel as well. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have anything else. I think that's really it. We'll be back. We're actually gonna be back. We're gonna be talking about Black Sabbath. And it actually relates to Drive Me. Yes, that's right. Black Sabbath situation, and this is just for Dominic. He wants a kazoo outro. Fuck, I don't even know what to kazoo. What am I gonna do?